Hello guys and welcome to another episode of OpenRCT2. Today we're gonna try to determine the value of pi using the Monte Carlo acceptance rejection method. Now first of all let's have a theoretical look at what we're trying to do. On the left side we see a square with the length of its sides being a. The area of this square is a squared. On the right side we see a circle with the radius a1/2. This means that the area of the circle is pi times a over 2 squared. Now for this method we need to view the circle on top of the square. As you can see, the circle perfectly fits into it, which is gonna be important later. Now we're gonna fill the square and the circle with a uniform distribution of points. We can now define the area of the circle as the acceptance region. Every point that lies outside of this region gets rejected. Now the important equation is that the number of points which are in the circle over the number of points that are in the square, so the total number of points, equals the area of the circle over the area of the square. We can basically determine the ratio on the left side by counting. Putting in the two equations from the square and the circle leads to this equation we can see right here. If we solve that for pi, that leads to the equation pi equals 4 times the points in the circle over the points in the square. As I said, we can determine this ratio by counting, so solving this equation is not too hard. But the question is, how does this transition to RCT? So first of all, we can obviously create a square map, so that shouldn't be a problem. We can also try to approximate a circle on top of that map. The more important question is, how are we gonna create the random uniform distribution of points? And the answer to that is pretty easy. Staff members. If staff members walk on grass and don't have anything to do, they wander around aimlessly. If we let our staff members walk around freely, that should create a distribution that is approximately uniform. To achieve that, we just have to wait long enough. I initially try to count the staff members using the map. The problem is, if 2 staff members are on the same tile, I can't see that on the map, and that yields some errors. That's why I wrote a plugin that counts the handyman and determines the value of pi automatically. So we now just have to spawn a ton of handyman and wait. The plugin ignores the edges since the distribution isn't really uniform there. And for 5000 handyman, this yields values like 3.1231, 3.1317, or 3.1213. So this is quite close to the real value of approximately 3.14159. If we did this with more handyman, the value would get closer to the real value of pi. But in this case there's obviously some hardware limitations that prevent that. Another thing that adds to the uncertainty is that staff members always walk in the center of the tile. That means that the distribution is not really over a continuous space. I think that the significance of this is quite small though. If you want to try the plugin yourself, I put it on my Discord, which is linked in the description. So that's it for today, I hope that you had some fun and see you next time!